Hi everyone and welcome to Lupus and I's first live of the day. So we've got another two later on which I'll give you a wee bit more information about at the end of this live. Today I've got Hayley Phillips joining us, who is from the Page to Seek Serenity and Kinesiology. And she is here to talk about all things energy with us. Give me a second to get her on with us. Just a wee second. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing good.
So, thank you so much for joining us today, Hayley. What time is it over there with you?
It's 8 o'clock in the evening.
Okay, and it's 10 o'clock in the morning here.
Yeah.
If any of the viewers can let us know where they're watching from and what time it is there, that would be quite helpful for going forward for our other lives, because it's obviously quite difficult trying to get it at a time where it suits everybody. So that would be really good, if helpful, if everybody could comment about where they're watching from. So Hayley, tell us a wee bit about your own autoimmune journey.
Oh, wow. So mine started at the age of 17. I was in high school and I was extremely lethargic. I was just tired for no reason. I'd come home and I'd be sleeping and I just didn't have the energy enough for the day. And so I had to get my immune system checked. And it turned out that I had Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which is an autoimmune disorder where, you know, I think the hardest thing for me was recognizing that it was a long-term condition, because autoimmune is like there is no
Yeah.
cure for autoimmune diseases. Um, and the side effects, like you also have depression in there, which I constantly struggle through. I go up and down with my depression as well. And knowing that you have to be on tablets for the rest of your life, and then the headaches that you get with all that. And the interesting thing is that with Hashimoto's disease, you don't actually, um, what's the turn of phrase? I lost my train of thought. But the main thing that really unsettled me was the fact that it was long term. And most people who are diagnosed with a condition usually find out when they're in their 40s.
Okay.
And I found out when I was 17, which was it was a big shock to me. And there's also problems with even conceiving. So if I want to have a baby, I have to be very, very careful with how my thyroid's doing and that sort of thing. And there's also, if my condition, my autoimmune disorder, if I don't deal with stress properly, it can also hinder the rest of my body. There's also such thing as Hashimoto's encephalopathy, which is when the immune system starts attacking the brain. So it's like as soon as you have one immune disorder, you're kind of open to so many others, which is quite scary. Mm. Yeah. So when I heard about lupus through your account, I was really, really shocked with some of the symptoms that many people suffer from, like SLE. How scary is that? Like inflammation, and it could be anywhere in the body. It can be in the joints, it can be in the organs, it can be in the tissues. Like it's so debilitating. And like, what is there to really help people nowadays? Like, what research are they doing to help people with lupus? What research are they doing to help people with Hashimoto's disease or like any other condition that's autoimmune?
Definitely, and I think it's quite scary how many overlapping symptoms there is with them all, which is why it takes so long for us to actually get diagnosed with it, which is really scary when you think about it. Because for me myself, although I've been diagnosed for 8-9 years, I had symptoms for 8 years prior to that.
Mm.
So it is a scary thing to deal with. So Hayley, you are a energy therapist. So
Yes.
what is that and how did you get into it?
So I was doing missionary service in New Zealand, and I was taking on board so many people's emotions. I was taking care of people who had addiction to drugs, family health problems, abuse, and it started affecting my health. And it's nothing that I was doing once I got home from my mission was like working. So I was having sleeping problems. I had back pain. Oh, thank you for all the love. I love that. But I was having a lot of, yeah, back pain, sleeping problems, issues with my period. And it was just a really chaotic time. And I loved my mission. I loved serving and helping those people. But when I got back, I thought, okay, you know what? Now I have the opportunity to change my diet, change my exercise, go to the doctors, to go and see a chiropractor and do all these things that a normal person would do that's available to Western medicine, but nothing was working. And I was just like, what's going on? Like, I'm doing everything. I'm bending over backwards, doing everything that everybody's told me, that doctors have told me. Why isn't this getting better? And I found out that my aunt did an energy therapy course. And she said, you know what? How about you just sit down with me and you give this a go? And I was the biggest skeptic. Like, I've never heard of energy healing or energy therapy of any kind. And so she sat me down, and it was really, really amazing because she explained it so simply to me. She goes, energy is everything. It's everywhere. It's in and through all things. It's in and through your body. Like, you've got your body, you've got your spirit, and you've got your energy. And the things that you say, the things that you think, that's energy too. And if you don't clean yourself out on a regular basis, then negative energy is going to have an impact on you, but not only an impact on your mind and like what you think and what you believe, but also on the health of your body and the health of your cells. And so for me, I think the whole reason why I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's so early is because I was taking on so much from my childhood, my parents' divorce, um, being lonely, being bit of a social outcast in school. Like, I had already been taking on so many emotions within myself and not expressing myself clearly that it obviously activated the Hashimoto's disease within me, because it's like everybody, um, we we're a foundation. The foundation of our health is based upon our ancestry and where we get our genes from. So obviously I had a thyroid condition, so did some of my ancestors. They passed it down to me, and then all of a sudden it gets activated early at 17, which was a big shock. So yeah, she did this session on me, and 90% of the pain went from my back. And then I had an amazing night's sleep, and I hadn't slept well, like, for such a long time. And I just wanted to know how it worked. And she also told me so many things that I had never spoken to her about my mission, about my service. I'm just like, how do you figure that out? How does this work? Tell me what energy therapy is really all about. And she goes, well, you got to imagine yourself, you're like a computer. You know, your computer has programs that are running. It knows everything about you. It knows what you look up. So it knows what you think, what you feel, your history, your baggage. And so what I do is I tap into that energy. So, and I'm just like, well, how do you do that? And she goes, well, I did a course, and she told me about the course. And it was running actually the same year that I had tried the session with her. And she goes, you know, you should probably try it. If you're this interested in it, you should give it a go. And I did, and I was actually really good at it. And so I use it on myself, I use it on my family members, I use it on my friends. And it's just a really fun way of checking in to yourself and like giving yourself a motivational boost, as well as like releasing some of the negative energy within yourself. It's really, really super fun. So if anybody has the opportunity to give it a go, I really recommend you giving it a go.
It sounds really interesting, and sort of it makes sense that everything we do affects the way we feel.
Yeah.
So, how can we use energy therapy to move towards wellness and away from sort of the pain and the fatigue of an autoimmune condition?
Well, a lot of the autoimmune conditions, it's really all about inflammation. And that inflammation in the cells really comes from um, negative emotions being stored within your energy and within your body. So there are certain areas of your body that are sensitive to particular emotions. So what I did was I looked up something. I've got this really handy book that I use all the time. when I'm doing energy therapy sessions. It's called The Secret Language of the Body. It's by Ina Segal. And I decided to look up lupus and see what some of the emotions are. So maybe you can tell me, Vicky, if
Yep.
any of these emotions you might identify yourself with. It says plagued by insecurity, lack of confidence, distrust, feeling like a victim, feeling like you've been taken advantage of or taken for granted, unresolved childhood issues, inability to stand up for yourself, weighed down by responsibility, always putting others first, anger, resentment, blame, guilt, and needing self-punishment.
That sounds pretty spot on, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I'll look up my thyroid condition for you. And yeah, because for thyroid conditions, let's have a look. Where is it? Thyroid gland. Hypothyroidism 157. Mine was pretty spot on too. That's hypo. There we go. Fatigued and I can't be bothered attitude. Muddled thinking, which I get a lot. I usually mix up my words a lot. Carrying too many burdens, feeling worn out and emotionally unstable, feeling exhausted, difficulty communicating, taking a backseat and allowing others to make important decisions, holding back, and everything feels like it's too much effort. And that's like me to a T. It's really funny, but this book is really, really good for trying to figure out what's going on in your body, what's going on with your energy, and helping to be able to alleviate that. Because I want you to imagine that your energy is like, it's kind of like when you're in a relationship. You know how people say, oh, you bring your baggage with you? Your baggage is all that energy, all those different stories and all the emotions that go with the stories and the history that you have. It's like you're carrying it with you or you're dragging it along with you, depending on how you deal with those emotions. Like if you let them go, you're not bringing it with you. But if you're keeping on bringing more and more and more, that's going to overwhelm the energy within your body. And if it's too much, that fatigue, it's settles somewhere. It settles in that your nervous system, and it tells your nervous system, look, you're not doing well. You're holding on to too much. You need to rest. And same thing with the inflammation. It's your body telling you, look, you're taking on too much stress. This is too much for me. I'm going to inflame and show you that you're taking on too much. You need to stop this. And generally when you do energy sessions and you focus on the emotions that are behind particular parts of the body, you'll find that the inflammation will go down or the pain will lessen. But it really depends on how much you're carrying. But it's really fascinating, which is why I love doing what I do and hearing the miracles.
Yeah, definitely. So I take it you would say sort of it's really important not only to look after the physical, but also the emotional and the mental.
Yeah, they all go hand in hand.
Yeah, definitely. So I always try to have a positive mental attitude about my illness, which at times, especially when I'm really sore and I'm feeling really fatigued, is difficult. But do you think that positive mental attitude really, how much do you think it impacts how we feel with our autoimmune condition?
It definitely takes a toll. Like how do I phrase it? The way in which you handle your disease, the way in which you mentally, take hold of it or handle it as a situation, the way in which you carry yourself with the condition can really impact you and your health. And positive thinking really does play a part in helping to heal. There's the most happiest, most healthiest people in the world are the ones who are generally the happiest and who deal with those emotions and stuff better. So the more you can try and train your brain, and I know it's the hardest thing possible, especially when you're going through, a lot of you are probably thinking to yourself, oh, Hayley, come on, you don't have lupus, you don't understand. Like, you don't feel the pain that I feel in my joints right now or in my back. and it's like a constant thing. I'm constantly taking medication for it, or I'm constantly, you know, wrapping myself up, or I can't do things that I normally could do before I had the diagnosis. Like, what are you talking about? How is positive thinking and positive feeling, how is that really going to help me? But the truth is there is healing in positive action, positive thought. Our brains are programmed to look at those negative emotions and think negatively to try and warn us and prevent us from causing more pain. But the thing is that the more we can trick our brain into realizing, no, there is a positive, there's healing in positive thinking, there's healing in positive feeling, like positive feeling in the moment, which is why meditation is so important. And not a lot of people focus in even on mindfulness and on the breath. When you focus on those moments, there's a reason why pain actually reduces when you're doing meditation and mindfulness. So yeah, your current mental state, it really is important to how you're feeling and your current state of health.
So you've obviously mentioned meditation and mindfulness there. What else can we do to sort of stop being stuck in that moment of negativity, of pain, of fatigue? Is meditation and mindfulness the main way, or is there other things that we can be doing?
There are so many other things you could do, because what people don't understand is, like, everybody does energy therapy on a regular basis every day. You do it when you're talking to your mates, when you're going out and you're grabbing a drink or a cup of coffee or with a friend, or you're walking outside in nature, you're even shifting energy. So there are things that you can do within yourself to help change your energy or shift your energy in a positive way. But when energy therapy comes in, that's you're looking at taking on stuff or alleviating or getting rid of those bags. So my job is to get rid of all the bags that you're carrying, things that you haven't been able to shed for yourself. But I think the greatest technique that I've learned is actually one I've learned from Gabrielle Bernstein, who's a meditation guru. And that's accepting the emotions that you're feeling at the moment, forgiving yourself for the emotions that you're feeling at the moment, and then choosing to let it go. So sometimes I'll repeat that to myself. I'll be like, okay, I'm really, really anxious in this situation. Okay, I accept the anxiety that I feel right now. I forgive myself for the anxiety I feel right now, and I choose to let it go. And I just take a deep breath, and I imagine it just going as I just blow out my breath, and I repeat it again. Okay, I accept these emotions for what they are. I forgive myself for these emotions and what they are, and I let them go. And take another deep breath. And you find that when you take that breath, it actually calms your energy, and you automatically feel the relief. So that's one technique that I love using and I love telling my clients about, because it really changes the way in which people feel within the moment.
Sounds really good. So how would you like to give us all a wee energy therapy session?
Sure, let's do something. Let's do something for fun. Okay. Let's see. Can we work on something that we've mentioned before with lupus? No, something else from in here. That's okay. I'm just gonna. I do muscle testing, so you can't see my hands, but I'm actually using muscle testing to figure out what exactly I'm meant to be doing. Okay, there's something in the letter T. 122. That's why I love using this book. Okay. Feeling uncomfortable with what you think, know, or feel. Something you think, something you know, something you feel. Feeling uncomfortable with something you feel. Is it emotional? No. Is it a physical thing? Is it something particular that has to do with lupus? Yes. What are some of the sensations that you feel like at the moment with your lupus? Is there anything that's kind of aggravated for you at the moment, Vicky?
My hands are I'm having real issues with my hands.
Difficulty with your hands. Okay. There are 14 emotions stuck in your hands. Do we need to identify them all? No. Okay, we just need to do a brief letting go. No, there's one emotion in particular that's really bad. Okay, let's see. Got my little emotions guide. And see, this could be something from your past. This could be something from when you were like 15, like a story that you had, like of a kid, like doing something, saying something mean to you or something like that, and it's stuck in your hands. And that anytime you refeel that emotion now, it triggers that feeling. It's just like, okay, you remember when you were 15, that kid said something really, really mean to you. Yeah, okay, that's causing the inflammation. So sometimes it could be stories from the past. Okay, so something on this page, no, next page. Feeling like running away. Okay, is this a story from your past? No, this is feeling like running away. Running away from stressful situations, so obviously being overwhelmed with stress. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to release that. So just take a deep breath. And we're going to let that go. And that's all it takes. You're just taking a breath. It's just me just telling your energy just to let that go, and it lets it go. Okay, there's something else stuck in your hands. Something that in the letter F. Feeling frustrated. Okay. Frustrated with the pain in your hands, frustrated with lupus, frustrated with anything else? No. Okay, so it's just the condition itself, just being frustrated with that. Okay. Take another deep breath. All frustration in your hands. Let's release all that. Okay, that's good. Okay. Something else in the letter T. Feeling tired. Okay. Let's release feelings of feeling tired. Oh, this one's a big one. This one's generational. It's on your mother's side. So somebody on your mother's side also had issues with feeling tired, and they would hold it in their hands too, and it's activated from you. So we're going to have to get rid of that. Okay, so okay, take a deep breath. That's good. There's more emotions in your hand. How are your hands feeling now?
Not as sore, and they actually feel very, very warm.
Yeah, because when the energy shifts, like it causes more circulation and stuff.
That is so strange, yeah.
It's fun, isn't it?
Ah.
And so you just work through different things. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that we could do. Any other things from there? No, we're going to do a story. No, we're going to do a card. Okay. Okay. Ina Segal also has these wonderful color cards. It's a deck that I use. It's called The Secret Language of Color. And sometimes these cards, they can do one of two things. They can either be there as a blessing to show you something that you're really good at or something that you need, or it's something that you need to release from yourself. We've got Jade. Any more? Just one more? No, just Jade. Okay, so this card came up, Jade. It's very pretty. And that one's number 32. Okay. Jade is the color of serenity, tranquility, love, and nurturing. It creates balance, harmony, and self-sufficiency, releasing negativity from your mind and stimulating ideas, making what is complex seem simpler and doable. Jade is a cleansing color. So allow Jade to help you take action and make your life easier. Okay, this is cleansing. You have some toxicity in your liver. Okay. So it seems to me that this has to do with the hands as well. It does have to do with the hands. Okay, so because there's some toxicity in the liver, there's toxicity in the tissues as well, which is causing also inflammation. So how about we let go and we release all that toxicity? So take a deep breath. Because if you release it from the energy, it's like the body can relax and it can do what it's programmed to do. Because your body, it already has its own programs set in place. But what the negative emotions do is just slows things down. It makes the body sluggish. Okay. And it's not open to healing itself, because the body is amazing. It can heal itself. If you were to focus your mind completely on healing, like, okay, I heal my hands, I'm allowing my body to heal my hands, and just focus that energy on there, it can actually cause it to heal. The only thing that would stop it from healing completely, obviously, is if there are negative emotions that need to be released first. But, okay, you know, you can heal yourself. And I mean, that's why I remember my stepfather, whenever I used to hurt my knee, he used to rub his hands together and he used to just hold it just over the area, and you just feel the tingling sensation. Like you wouldn't be touching the skin, but you could feel something there, and it was his love, his healing in that area of the body. It's absolutely magical. But that's, we as human beings, we all have that power. We all can do healing. So feel free, anybody who wants to learn about these techniques, feel free to use them on yourself. It's absolutely amazing, the power that the mind and the body has to be able to heal is absolutely, yeah, it's amazing. I'm constantly fascinated. With every single client that I have, there's always something new to unlock. There's always some mystery and something that makes them, yeah, just so interesting. Something interesting to learn with every single client.
Yeah. Definitely. My hands, honestly, they were so sore this morning.
Yeah.
And they're fine. I could hardly do that.
That's awesome.
That is just
That's amazing.
Honestly, that is just crazy.
And I just did a little bit. Like, it's only the tip of the iceberg.
But it was so strange when you were doing it. They were so warm and they felt that sort of nice tingly way.
Yeah. That's the
that is amazing. Thank you so much for doing that for me today, Hayley. Honestly, that has just made my day. So, Hayley, I believe you have an interesting and exciting competition for the guys on my page.
I do. Okay, so my favorite thing to do is to serve people and to be able to help them. So I'm offering 5 people the opportunity to have a session with me for free. It'll go for an hour. All you have to do is just obviously get in contact with me if you've won the competition, and we can just book out a time. But what we're going to do is we're going to come up with a post, and I'll send Vicky I'll do up something special, and so she can put it up on a post. All you have to do is like the post, follow the Lupus and I page and my page to Seek Serenity Kinesiology, and then tag a friend. And if you want an extra entry in, you can share it on your whatchamacallit? Oh my goodness, I've had a brain block. That's my Hashimoto's for you.
Your own page.
Yeah, share it on your own page. Yeah. So yeah, feel free to do that. So if anybody's interested, send some love, because I'd love to be able to have 5 people to do a session for you, and so that you can experience the same little miracles and blessings that Vicky had just with a small minute session that we did together.
Yeah, I am blown away by that. So an hour session, wow. I mean, yeah, I might actually just sign up and see about getting a wee session with Israel.
I'm going to give you a full session. Don't worry about it. Like, full free session for you, because honestly, you're the one that came to me and asked for me to come and do the lives. And, I get really nervous in doing things like that, but I wanted to push myself, and it's really helped me to grow in confidence and, sharing what we know. And that's the thing too, like with your page, honestly, it's so heartfelt. And it's all about helping others and finding a positive way to look at what you're battling through and what you're suffering through, and finding positive ways in which to deal with it and to feel better and to be healthy. And that's the goal that I have for all my clients. I want them to feel healthier and I want them to get better and to feel good. So, you know, you've inspired me. So thank you so much for allowing me to come.
Oh no, thank you for joining us. It really has been good. So guys, we've got 2 other lives later today. So I'm in Scotland at 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock my time. I'm a bit confused about the whole America time and things, so I'll get it figured out and let you know what time it is over there. So we will be talking to Lorena about Reiki and meditation. And then we are talking to Hair for Royalty about all things hair loss, which I know is a massive thing, particularly for guys, the folk with lupus. So we've got loads of questions for her. But I'll put a wee post up just reminding you of the times, and I'll catch you back then later. Thanks so much, Hayley.
No, thank you for having me, guys. It's been wonderful.
We need to do it again, definitely.
We will.
Yeah, thanks so much. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.